Did I keep y'all waiting? I know I sure kept myself waiting, but we finally got here. Let's head out. So this video is mostly just going to be us in shop with Stick and Wrap and having Jay, the owner of Stick and Wrap, install this Itasha for me. Now, I will say this is his first time doing a Corvette. This is probably the first C7 Corvette in the entire world that has an Itasha, because I looked online, I literally googled it, didn't see any search results. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm the first, not counting Forza ones. I'm talking about real life, and not counting like racing teams, like literally individually owned for the memes, not for like a professional sponsorship. There's probably a reason why a lot of companies avoid the C7, because as Jay and me learned throughout the process, it is extremely difficult. Everything is just trying to make our life more and more suffering, straight all the way to the end. So a lot of people on Instagram were like backseat Itashing, like they're like, oh, well, how come you printed Lucina so big? It's like, come on, we know what we're doing. And as you can see here, see, I'm not even in the mood to be mad, even when I do the butt bladed voice. This is how I know I'm in a good mood. So like, basically the reason we print more is it's easier to remove things instead of adding things, because you have to add things by reprinting something, that's just a waste of money, waste of time, really dumb. The other reason is a lot of this stretches in with the curves of the car. So let's actually talk about the Corvette doors a little bit this video. I'll talk about them more in the actual finished video, but as you can see as we're applying it, the top part here curves in, and I'll measure it for you guys to have a point of reference. It's about 4 inches in here where we put it in. It's basically about 6 inches towards the end. So a lot of people were like, hey Bladed, how come you didn't do the Itasha further down the door? If you look down here, there's a vent there. You look up here, there's another vent here, and it bends in 6 inches here, and there's a door handle here, and there's a door seam there. That's 5 things I have to contest with that can make our life a living hell. Where Lucina is perfectly placed. She's right after the mirror, right after the brake vent. The only seam she goes through is the bottom door seam, which is the easiest seam to tuck in. So once we figured out her placement, got her blue taped and down, we're like, let's just get her on. Let's just start pressing her down, pressing her on. There was another unexpected thing, whereas there was a miscommunication. We didn't realize that I wanted the words Lucina to be separate from her. That way we can place that wherever. For some reason it was attached to her, so we decided to cut off the LUC on the passenger side, so it's just Ina, and we can reposition that anywhere else later. The actual material that they're using, so the white background peels off, and what a lot of people didn't realize is the clear also peels off. It's a 2-stage peel. A lot of people on Instagram were worried, where they're like, oh my gosh, how's he gonna run a scissor through and cut all the clear out around her? I'm like, guys, the clear part just peels off. Lucina, by and far, was the easiest installation of this entire ordeal. It is actually the Dragon that was much harder. Obviously not counting the font. The font is also extremely easy to put on and off. So this point on, we successfully got Lucina on, and she looks fine, and I can't help but to smile at the side of this with just her going up at the door, because I'm super excited knowing that once her name is finished, it's literally just flexing my waifu on the world. This is what I live for, guys. We finally did it. I finally did it, because I bitched out for so long about not wanting to do this because I let the haters get to me. I'm at the point where I feel invincible. I don't care. I know what I did. I know it's super controversial. I'm just gonna keep doing it, and we've already done it, rather. The amount of people who try to compromise on the way through, like, oh, just do the base wrap, oh, just do the Dragon only, and then there were no breaks on this train. People try to stop me for putting the Lambo mods back on, people try to stop me, whatever. Alright, no more ranting, let's keep on. Here you see us preparing knifeless tape. So we went around, we did it much better on the driver's side, which you'll see later, but on the passenger side, we start on this one's first, because he told me, you're gonna wake up every morning, you're gonna see your driver's side. So he's putting knifeless tape around Lucina. Alright, then after that, you see us actually cutting the Dragon, and the reason we have to do this is because the Dragon's all separate pieces anyway. So the way these prints work, because there's so many gaps where the Dragon is, you'll see like pieces of him kind of just littered throughout the video, because we actually don't need to keep him as one giant piece, because he was never one giant piece. When he's on like the white background, it looks like he's all one piece. He's not. He's literally multiple. And that gave us a lot of freedom to kind of place him individually where we needed to place him, because I was like, again, the Corvette, super curvy car. Things they'll never fall where you think they're gonna fall. Oh, and because I know someone is gonna say it, they're probably like, why don't you guys just put the Dragon underneath her? That way you didn't have to cut it and it just goes first and you put her on top. We can't do that, actually. Again, this is not Forza. You put the Dragon behind her, you put her on top of the Dragon, every single little part of the Dragon will become a seam line on her face. Like I said, in Forza and cute little video games, you can layer after layer, and those layers do not have seam lines when they overlap over each other, because it's all rendered to just be identified modified as one solid ongoing piece. In real life, things even a few millimeters thick, when it lays on top of another thing for a few millimeters, it shows seam lines. You'll see the overlap. In fact, I'll show you what I mean right here. You can actually see her hair behind some letters. You can actually see some of the dragon behind the letters. I don't mind seeing seam lines behind letters. Those are just letters. But imagine if the dragon was behind her. Her whole face would just be butchered, essentially, alright? So, the smartest thing to do was put knifeless around 𝙒𝙚𝙚, put blue tape over her, and just throw the dragon on top of her. It definitely pained me to see that, but I was like, this is what we gotta do. Once we got that down, we started to peel it off, obviously, let the dragon sit in place. The front part of the dragon is actually easier than the rear part. The rear part has a lot of things going on that has to go on separately. But for now, we just finished the rear off. I let Jay throw on the fender emblem of just Fire Emblem Awakening. So now we have, and a lot of the planning helped make a lot of the difficulty of the Corvette. At least the placement wasn't as hard, so we knew where things were supposed to go, but actually placing the things was the hardest part. We're heat gunning everything, because the only part we didn't heat gun was 𝙒𝙚𝙚 and her armor, so like basically her main body, but her hair, free real estate, and her everything kind of around that, the dragon especially, free real estate. Reason being, it was really difficult to get things to follow the curves of the Corvette, but I was like, let's get her face on the flattest part of the Corvette so we don't have to stretch it at all. And that, to me, if you have a complicated car, for like the 3 supercar owners or like exotic car owners or other Corvette owners that are watching this video who for some reason want Itasha on their car too, it's a lot more difficult. Especially, I think he's done a McLaren in the past, but and even in spite of that, he actually says the Corvette was probably the hardest car ever because he actually thinks Lambos and Ferraris are easier than Corvettes. So go figure that one out. And I kind of agree actually after looking at Lambos. They're actually really angular and smooth. So this is his wife, Angel, and she's actually using the knifeless tape, and yeah, it just rips the dragon cleanly off. So you see the part that's laying over 𝙒𝙚𝙚, it just comes off. We don't have to worry about it. So that's really cool that knifeless works like that. Helps a lot, especially since I have a wrap underneath, so I don't want to risk ripping the wrap off underneath. Then we just go heat gun everything again, because that's just how it is. The door's up. Look how nice this is with her and both sides of the dragon. Like, this is peak Weeb, especially with her name on it, like. And with that, we have one entire side done. Completely just done, so you see me back out of the garage, and I have to pull it in, reverse it, and put the driver's side in. So then we can work on the driver's side. And here's what we did on the driver's side. You basically, same song and dance. I will say this, we did it like 30% faster. So we spent like 11 hours doing the passenger side. It took us probably 7.5-ish for the driver's side. A lot of it was just muscle memory. We're like, yep, this goes there, this goes there, this. It was just mirroring everything that we had already done, and we did it better on the driver's side, because now I was like, now that we know how the car works and how this works around it, we can get everything more properly done. So to me, I finally understand the phrase of get my good side. That used to never apply to me for cars, but now I feel it, because yeah, it's not like my passenger side's bad, but it's not as good to the original Forza artwork. My driver's side almost looks identical to it. I'm super tired. I've been up for the past 2 days, like I said, 11 hours the first day, still like 10 hours the second day, but we only worked on our 7.5, and then we just had a whole bunch of other people come and shop, take a look at her. But I'm beat. I'm just happy it's done. I'll get back to you guys similar time with a video of it being in the sunlight, a more proper walk around video of the full finished product. So just for today, this is all I can tease you with. This is what I'll leave you with. Thank you for watching, and thank you for sticking along for this whole project, because at this point, it's not a matter of it finally coming to an end. It's a matter of it all finally beginning, because we will see more cars like this on this channel, and the Corvette itself still has a lot of things that need to be done. From carbon fiber wheels to spitting flames. We'll get there, to even getting bagged. Like, this is gonna be either the world's most controversial Corvette or the world's least controversial Corvette. Depending on how you look at it, it's either or. We're talking about an American car that's powered by an American power plant that makes Italian sounds, that I then gave a Italian design, and then for some reason slapped a French flag on it because I was like, oops. And then it has a Japanese sticker on it now, and I'm an Asian driver. Like, dang, this is the most worldwide Corvette ever. Kind of unintentionally. I did it all just because I was like, let me just do what boomers hate. And it ended up being, in my opinion, something more American than, because America's all about a cultural melting pot. The reality is, white people don't own America. It's owned by every single immigrant who came here and continues to come here to seek the freedom. And I think this car is the perfect definition of the First Amendment being exercised to the fullest. This is my freedom of expression. And I know it's a two-way street. If you don't like it, you're welcome to express that back to me, but you gotta respect it, because there was a lot of work done in this. No wrinkles, no bubbles, nothing. Patience all the way through. And it's only gonna be even more from this point on. So thank you guys for tuning in. See y'all next time. Blade Angel out.